Right, everyone, WeaponCollector here. Right, I'm sort of slightly gutted I'm on StreamYard because I can't set the bloody thumbnail. Because, look at that. Yes, look at that for a crossbow. So hopefully you can hear me and all that. I'm just going to go on to the pop-out chat. Right, where am I? My channel. Can you hear me all right, though, by the way? I've got no idea. The microphone should be on. How should get that pawn off my screen. So you can hear me all right, can you? Yeah, I couldn't help myself. I've already started modding it. Right, I'll tell you what. While it's nice and early, let's put a quick ad on while you all join. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. So James Layton, Brightal, CM Military and Tactical Pirate. You all right? Are you just on for a little bit? Right, yeah, I'll whack an ad on while people oh yeah, and this is for me. This is for me and Tactical because we missed out. Me and Tactical have both got one of those. So
lucky bastard.
And right, if you ever want to support this channel to help me fund some of these things, because my income is YouTube and I've been demonetized for years, this is how you can support me. This is a 30-second ad. Back in a second. Right, back. If later on there's suddenly quite a few people on, by the way, Funky Prepper's live streaming, and he said when he finishes his, he's going to come here and try and get some of his viewers to come here. And Big warned he sometimes gets about 100 people watching his. I don't think they'll all come over, but it may suddenly shoot up a bit. So anonymous user, you right, mate? You right, Len? I'll get it out in a second. And he said, evening, might get the XR out. T2, you right, mate? Zed, you right? Rich. Oh, you came here from Funky's, did you? Nice one, James. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was modding for a little bit, but then I had some stuff to do because I've been messing around with this crossbow in the shed, making some of the parts today, so I had to shut the shed up. Oh, nice one, Desmond. Yeah, fun. That's funny. I was just saying that. So yeah, what I've been doing today is. This didn't look like this originally. It didn't have the stock. That's my homemade quiver. One of my slings that I put on today. I've sprayed one of the crossbow bayonets black. Yeah. So there you go. Getting there. I just need a drop-down riser to bring this handle down a little bit more, and then it's pretty much done. And I may redo this bit, but I'm not sure. With some that's just pretend leather. Thank you, CM Militaria just supported me, so this is just for you, CM. Right, where am I? Peter, how you doing, mate? You right? Dad said Funky wants me to be a mod on his streams. A lot of mad people around, if you ask me. Well, I get away with having you on here because you're on here all the time anyway, so I might as well. Do you know what I mean? But oh, Metallic Reality, thank you. I appreciate you coming over from Funky's. Zed said that stock looks good. Yeah, that was off of. See that gun just there? That CO2 air pistol used to have a stock on it, but I never liked it. It's perfect for this. It suits it. It's the same color, same sort of plastic, you know, ABS. Brightal said an assault crossbow that we have to ban. Yes. That That's that bayonet has given me a semi. That's sake. Looks nice in black though. I don't know if I'll sell them in black though, but the problem is I don't know how good that paint is. That's why I get a bit put off selling them in black. Because people said, "Can you sell them in black?" But I don't know. I don't know how good it is. If it starts rubbing off, I'd feel a bit guilty. I think someone else has supported. I'm going to have a look quickly. Where am I? Coffee. Well, Wolf said, "Thank you, mate. Appreciate that. I don't think he's even on yet." All right, I better do that for you as well. Yeah, Wolf. Cheers, mate. Right, where am I? Peach, I sent your stuff today. It's in the post. First class, signed for. Richard said, "You just need to mod the mag into a 500 round drum mag." Yeah, exactly. CM said, "Hopefully the 20 can go towards another." Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Because I didn't actually know how much you donated because I can't actually see. That means a hell of a lot, that does. Thank you for that, mate. Yeah, because it genuinely does help me a lot because, as I've said before, my only real income is YouTube. Like, partly why I have to be a bit careful on YouTube, because if I got chucked off of YouTube, I'd literally lose my whole entire way of making an income. I've never been paid by YouTube, but I use YouTube to create a income, you know. Right, I've said he's off, he's tired, and he's going to sleep. Good night, mate. Have a good sleep. Wolf said, "How you doing, mate?" He said, "Evening, men of Gondor." Zed said, "Best black paint for stuff is exhaust black. It's tough as old boots." Do you know what I used on that? That's bumper paint, which probably isn't very good, but it's what I had. Richard had a good idea. Funny thing is, Rich, I thought of that myself, but the only thing is the aluminium wouldn't blue. Richard said gun bluing might be more durable than paint. I did think of gun bluing, and I suddenly thought, oh shit, the aluminium won't. I thought it'd be perfect. I could do it perfectly. Yeah, the aluminium, but it might look all right, silver anyway. Stokey, you right, mate? He said, "Was going to get an ad across, but after seeing some videos of the bolts flinging back and going through the bow itself, I don't think I like the idea of getting one now." I'll tell you what, I had a couple of issues with mine, and that put me off shooting it. Thank you, Flazzy. I appreciate it. All right, a bit of this one's for Flazzy. Cheers, mate. I'm gonna have more of them from the stream in a minute. Yes, put me off as well with that. I get worried shooting that. I never ever shoot that without eye protection. And you have to be very careful. Don't ever shoot like cheap bolts out of that. They've got to be the proper EK Archery ones. I'll be honest with you lot, right? I've been shooting this. I've been shooting it today for about an hour. It's not perfect, put it that way. But the fact that that magazine is pretty much just an extra 20 quid, you don't care so much. Right? The only thing I'd say about this is I don't know if it's designed for quick, rapid fire. Because when I tried to rapidly shoot it, you would occasionally get a bolt that didn't come through properly, and then you'd get a misfire. So what you have to do, you have to cock it and then check it quickly. And if it's not straight, you just flick that switch there forward, and then it will drop the bolt down properly if it hasn't come out properly. So although you're not going to be going, really rapidly shooting it, but the fact that it's only 20 quid dearer than a normal red bag, I don't really care. You know what I mean? By the way, if you buy it, it won't look like that either. There's what it will look like. It looked like a red back with a magazine anyway. But the fact it's only 20 quid dearer, it doesn't bother you. Stug, how you doing, mate? Soul Skinner, how you doing, mate? He said, "I'd love to give some coin, but I'm thinking, nah, it's all right, mate. I appreciate all the ones that do, and I appreciate the fact that some people can't. You know what I mean? Dan, you right, mate? Liam, weapons and stuff." He said, "Hello all, won't be on for all the stream. I'd want to get up early for work." Richard said, "The standard Cobra R9 is better in my opinion. 200 quid cheaper." Yeah, that one. That's the one without the magazine. And you probably get to, yeah. But it's, yeah, very cheap bolts. Wolf said common bolts for the XR as well. Yes, it can shoot very cheap, easily to get bolts. That brings it up again. You know, as I said, it's not perfect. It ain't perfect, but I'll tell you what, I absolutely love shooting this. I don't know why the magazine makes so much difference. It just makes it so much more fun, even if you do have to check it every time. Zed said, well, looks like it's toss a coin for weapon collector. Value plenty tonight. That's from the Witcher series, isn't it? Well, I think it is anyway. Daniel said, how does it load? This magazine actually comes out. So you can actually load. What you could do, you could buy 6 of those magazines. You load them up from the bottom. And then you would shoot your 6 bolts, take that magazine off, just grab another one. That's another sort of thing I like about it. It is innovative. So there, you shoot, you just open it, cock it. So that's dropped one of the bolts out slightly. So I'll have to be careful with that. Did you hear it click? I can click that back in. I'll tell you what I did the last time I used it earlier. This is for people who are getting one. I've started lubing the rail every time I shoot it, and also, see that bar there, the bar that goes across? I've started putting some on that, and the last time I shot it, it seemed to be slightly better. As I say, it shoots fine. You just have to check that the bolts are dropped down properly, and it's if you haven't put them in horizontally, like straight. Thank you, Peter. Peter just donated. It really is one tonight. So thank you, Peter. I end up saying thank you when I put the video on. Richard, Mike, you tried all the Anglo Arms bolts out on the magazine. No, I'll tell you why. I ain't even bothered, Rich. This is why. I have no idea why these are called 6, not them. You know, it is that, yeah. I have no idea why those torque bolts are called 6.5 inch bolts, sorry, because they're not. They're 7 3/8. But the problem is these are longer than all of the other bolts, and this end bit's different. You have to have that length for it to fit. But I reckon I could make them. Thank you, Peter. I massively appreciate that. Tactical, it pisses me off all over the Steamboat Stinger. Yeah, it pisses all over the Steamboat Stinger. Yeah, there's loads of people moaning saying this is really inferior, but it's 20 quid essentially. What you're paying for, the upgrade for this is 20 quid, not 300 quid. And this crossbow itself is probably 5 times as good as the one on the old. Now, I'm not saying the Steamboat shit or anything, but it's massively overpriced, and you're actually using I think it's a 250 quid magazine on a £15 crossbow that's outdated now. David Gentfer, how you doing, mate? Thanks for joining in. Did you come from Funkies as well? Daniel said it's just gravity that drops them. Well, and a spring. It's got a spring pushing it down. There's a spring here. There's an arm on it with a spring that pushes them down. What it is. It was it saying, Daniel. Sometimes when you load the bolts up, instead of sitting perfectly horizontal, instead of the flight sitting horizontally in it, it's very hard to show you. So like that, say, the bolts in the magazine are twisted like that, and then they drop out like that, and it means they're still sticking up in the magazine slightly. You just have to be careful. But as I say, you just flick the little switch and then they drop down properly. I don't know if there's a technique to it. There may be a technique to cock it quickly, cock it slowly, lubing that bar. I lubed that bar the last time I used it, and it seemed to be shooting slightly better. It still shoots fine. You just have to check it. It may not have even been designed for very quick shooting. I really don't know, but it's for the price, you can't beat it. The all aluminium ones, Rich, are shorter as well. Every single one of them shorter than those ones. It wouldn't take long to make some bolts for it though, like aluminium bolts. Flazzy, you right, mate? He said, "Love a bit of melon smashing." Yeah, exactly. Dad said, "Good job, Mr. Sprav didn't think of that magazine. It would cost you £200 to £300 if you had." Exactly. I don't know if any of you know this, right? I actually made a magazine for a Redback once, and I found the issue. And weirdly enough, I resolved the issue, but I couldn't do it because it needed a switch that would not activate one way and would the other way. This did exactly my idea, but I couldn't make it. It was too complicated to do with the tools I had. I reckon you could 3D print that. Yeah, very cheap for what it is, CM, isn't it? A cheeky question, but can I become a mod? Don't worry. Yeah, you can become a mod if you want. I'll add you in a minute. David said, I try and stay away from archery type weapons. As I almost shot my foot. I did come from Funky Stream. I also subbed. Oh, thank you, David. I appreciate that. Yeah, he said he'd send some over, didn't he? And I appreciate him doing that. Lewis, you right, mate? How you doing this? He said, nobody on the crossbow forums has caught on those redbacks yet. I'll soon sell out when they do. Yeah, I bet they do. I was saying a minute ago, it's not perfect. It's not the perfect setup, but then some of the other magazines aren't perfect setup. Well, I love shooting it. I actually every day I want to go out and shoot that. Whereas some of the other, even the Tomcat 2, I like shooting that, but I don't know. There's just something about a magazine that I like. I don't know, but I actually love shooting this. Did you see how I've done it, Lewis? It's changed a bit now. It's now got a stock quiver for some spare bolts. I'm going to put a quiver on it. Black bayonet, sling. I just need to sort out now a riser to bring this handle down a little bit, and a torch somehow, but I'm undecided yet. Nick's Knives, how you doing, mate? You all right? Sam, if I forget, I've done it. I've remembered. David said, my poison of choice is military grade, surplus, Eastern Bloc firearms, certain US firearms. Nice. That sounds good. Very nice. Dead Inside is that. You right, mate? How are you? Yeah. Sadly, Lewis, people wouldn't be able to buy these stocks. Otherwise, I'd recommend you getting one. But this was actually off of an old air rifle, so it's got a. I may change it and put a proper leather bit on because this is fake leather off the handbag. Yeah, that's the stock off of that CO2 air pistol there. I never liked it on there. But yeah, that's adjustable, and I could if I want to. I don't really need to though, because it's just right. This has got a little cheek rest as well, but I took it off because you don't really need it. Tactical said Redback XR versus Redback and Tomcat pen test. Definitely, that's coming up because people are interested in that. You would know this, wouldn't you? These bolts, when these drop down, sit an inch in front of the string. So I suppose you're essentially losing an inch of the power stroke. But I'll tell you what, I'm not shooting very far when I shoot, but these are going in my target boss about as much as I'm holding it there. They're going in about 2.5, 3 inches. I saw Lewis was on. Not Lewis, Stu. That's okay, Nightfall. You right, Stu? How you doing, mate? Ninja Rabbi, you right? He said, real slick setup. When did you pick up the magazine, or is that a 3D printed one? No, it's a new crossbow, the Redback XR. Yeah. But it won't look like that if you buy it. Because I put the stock on it. Zed said to Richard, yeah, he can shove it up his ass, to be honest. Oh, Rich was saying, yeah, you have seen those 3D instant Legolas with a regular bow, €1,000. Yeah, it's just so massively overpriced. You know, it's a shame. Where was I? Oh, T2 said, I really wish I was younger. Younger women nowadays who want their cars to pass an MOT. That's like very surprising what they offer to do. I told my lad earlier, and he said, "Train me up, Dad." Yes, I'll have a job if there's one going T2 as well. David said, "Is that bayonet something you made, or is it off something?" I made them. Yeah, I actually make them to sell. So these are the ones I sell. I don't normally do them black. Yeah, I made those because I knew people quite like their accessories for these crossbows. So I make the quivers. That's a homemade quiver from Kydex. I make the strap, yeah, you know, the slings. I couldn't think what it's called, and the bayonets, and other stuff. Oh, bloody crossbows everywhere. My niece was counting them earlier. I think there's 9 just in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that all of them? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 in here. Just 8 in here, but that's yeah, I got more than that, put it that way. The bayonet, what it is, it's not sharp on the edges, so that you can still hold it to cock the crossbow, but it is pointy and it is very rigid. It could be used, but it partly works as an extension of the handle to cock it. Fladgy said, "I'd go for Olight Boulder Pro. Then you can have a laser and a torch in it. Good idea. I don't know if I'd be able to afford that though. I'll have to get hold of Olight, see if they'll sponsor me, which they do, but it's hard to get specific things." Metallic, I don't sell the stocks. You can buy 3D printed stocks from a place called 3D Cabin, but no, that one I made, that was like a one-off. This was a one-off because it actually came off of something else, so most people wouldn't be able to do it unless you bought the stock from a website. Lindy Rab said, "Oh, cool, I'll look into it. I'm glad there's some competition for the overpriced Steamboat. Do you know how much this cost? Right, this crossbow on its own is normally 60 quid, the normal one. This one with the magazine, 80 quid with the postage. 20 quid is 20 quid more than the standard one. That's amazing. So basically, you're paying 20 quid for a magazine, and they're interchangeable." Lewis, a bloody good job the government has no interest in bringing the laws out. Yeah, I know, Lewis. Fucking hell. Good, isn't it? There's a reason I asked, because I'm looking for a Russian bayonet with a wire cutter for an AK, but it's set up to work on my SKS. Ah, right, yeah, I made that for those, yeah. Persia destroys, right, mate? He said, "Yeah, it's very lucky. No one can say you were a lucky bastard." With me and Tactical got me to put it on earlier. But if you want to see it just for this is just for me and my new setup.
Ooh, lucky bastard.
Even if I do say so myself. Matthias, how you doing, mate? You all right? He said, "Greetings for Austria. Do you like the new Redback with magazine?" I do. I'll tell you what, I'm not ever gonna say it shoots absolutely perfectly, but it shoots very well and it is lovely to shoot. I really, really, really enjoy it. I think I have the habit of where I used to shoot that, which I still will shoot. I had a couple of misfires and I got a bit worried about it because that thing can really hurt you if it messes up. So I got into the habit of always checking anyway, checking the bolts are lined up. So when I shoot this, the fact that sometimes I have to look, well, I look every time, it doesn't bother me. Yeah, it's lovely. I absolutely love shooting this. I can't wait to get more magazines because you can load like 6 or 7 magazines up then and just put them in as you go. Yeah, I shot it for about an hour today. Absolutely loved it. I don't know why, because it's not that much different to the other one. There's something about it. I don't know. Ninja Rabbi said, what a deal. I have to see where I can get it in the US. Yeah, you have to have a look, mate. Lewis said, the Steamboat was dead on arrival at the price point. That's the issue, isn't it, Lewis? You know, people will buy it, but it's massively overpriced. And it's, as I was saying earlier, it's, what is it, like a £250 magazine on a 15 quid crossbow? That's a bit outdated nowadays, really. You know, they was good. That was the best crossbow you could get in its day. But, you know. James had done anything fun today, apart from shooting that crossbow and playing a little bit of football with my niece because she wants to practice football. Was doing like like penalties, and then I was kicking the ball a long distance so she could get used to that. That's about it, really. And my niece is 5, by the way. No booze tonight, Bergio. He said not on the sauce. No, I'm gonna have at least 3 weeks off, I reckon. Ninja Rabbi said, if you guys want a stock for your Cobra style cocking handle, a couple feet of PVC and a right angle fitting. That's it. Do you know what? If this didn't work, that's what I was going to do. The old pipe and an L bracket. Zed said, by the way, I watched Evil Dead yesterday and Evil Dead 2 tonight. Going to watch the 3rd one and start Ash vs. Evil Dead. You know what, Zed? I think you'll love Ash vs. Evil Dead. I absolutely loved it. It's as good or maybe better than the TV series is. The film, sorry. I think because they've got a bigger budget. Yeah, and there's more they can mess around with. And that Ash vs. Evil Dead has some of the most horrific gore I've ever seen in anything. If you like gore, what's it like to cock with your mods versus original? You know what? It's not much different, in all honesty. Because I think I'm still sort of doing it the same. I'm sort of letting it rest across my arm. It's hard to say. I don't know. It don't seem much easier, in all honesty. You'd think it would be. But I think it's just the way I cock them. Because I lay the bar across my arm. Kenny, you're right, mate. He said, no, Mike doesn't have a special shirt on. Yeah, you go. There, he knows. Kenny knows the score. You should have known that, Persia. I got my merchandise shirt on, but not my drinking shirt. That's terrible. There's a dumping 3 or 4 mags into a stab vest would make an interesting video. As soon as them mags come up, I'm getting some. Wolfson said he's got another 3D cabin stock coming. That's what, if I had a bit more money, Wolf said that's what I would have done. My first option was do this, and then if this didn't work and I didn't have any money, I was just going to do the pistol crossbow fan method with a tube and an L bracket. And then if that didn't work and I had a bit of money, I would have got a 3D cabin one. And it said, by the way, the Tomcat costs 35. Oh, that's good. Tomcat 2. That's the old ones. I never know which one's which, Zed, with the Tomcat 2 and Tomcat Mark 2. T2 said, been doing lots of research into wildcats in the UK since lockdown. Has anyone seen? I've never had an encounter, but there's been one near me. Less than a kilometre away, I think. T2. Max Mad, right, mate? He said, don't forget my name is Bruce. Not a bad film. Yeah, that's all right. I've got that. Oh, yeah, and Lucy Lawless is in Ash vs. Evil Dead. Sam said I had a hedgehog come into my garden yesterday. Came back today after some food. Might be my new pet. I nearly had a pet hedgehog once. But I think it had some kind of... It had been... We've always... I think they live in our garden. Like there's generations of hedgehogs living in my garden. But we found one in our shed once with a plastic bag around its head. A little baby one. But I reckon it had got some kind of brain damage from not being able to breathe properly. But I tried and tried for about a week. It was so little, it had to be actually fed with a little dropper thing, and you had to get a little bit of wet tissue and like wipe its genital area to make, because a hedgehog would lick them down there to make them go to the toilet, and you'd have to rub it with a little wet bit of tissue, and then it would go to the toilet. And I kept doing it, and it just wouldn't grow. It wouldn't get bigger because little things like that grow quick. And it just died, sadly. But I gave it a good go. And that's the only time I've ever known slightly what it's like to have a newborn baby. Because that hedgehog, I used to have to feed it every 2 hours, even in the night. After a week, I was fucked. When it died, my dad and that came back from work, and one of the people who was working with them, family friend, he saw how fucked I looked and actually said to me, "You all right?" And I said, "Yeah, it's just that I haven't been sleeping." I think he thought I was like massively upset. I was just like dying from not having hardly any sleep. But yeah, it was a shame the little thing died. Otherwise, we would have had a proper hedgehog. Yeah, we would have kept, probably. Well, I don't know, probably would have kept it as pet. Dead Inside said best crossbow for 150 quid. What kind of crossbow would you like? Would you like a full size crossbow or a pistol crossbow? Because there's different answers for that. I'll let you know. Tomcat 2 is the old one. All right, Zen. I can never know because I don't even know what we. Because I thought it's the other way around. I thought the Tomcat Mark 2 was the old one, and the Tomcat 2 is the new one. But I don't know. Darius, right, mate? I got your thing, and I don't think you understood what I meant when I replied to you. So that stuff got mentioned, but then after that, it's been changed again, and now they're not doing it. So yeah, and he said, "Do you like the information about samurai swords? Will the Wakizashi swords be okay?" Yeah. Funny thing is, Darius, if you'd have been on last week, we spoke about it and actually shared that exact article. That last Friday we mentioned it then, so I'd already seen it. I don't know 100%, but someone's got hold of me recently, Jumble Sabu, and he said, I'm pretty sure he was saying that's not happening now. They've changed their mind again. But if it does happen, yeah, you'll just have to cut your samurai sword down to less than 50 centimeters, your katana. Dactyl said cat food is best for them. And to tell if a hedgehog has eaten, tip the bowl of the slugs on the thing. Ah, right. Oh, if it hasn't eaten, yeah. Or as, I don't know. So here's a thanks, Dactyl. I gave them some and some water. Seem to like it. I like the old hedgehogs. I do like hedgehogs. They're supposed to be getting rare now, or something, as far as I'm aware. Full size. Well, one of these probably, right? So you can get this crossbow. If you I class this as a full size crossbow. They're actually classed as pistols, but it's no way is this a pistol. This is not a pistol. That is not a fucking pistol. I don't know why they call it a pistol. One of these with a £130 prod. I think you can get this basic crossbow for 120 quid. If you want the stock, the front handle, and the sight, I think it's about 170, but it's worth it. It's worth paying a little bit extra. And this cocks like this. So you bring that all the way up, it will catch the string, and it pulls the string back. Or an Armex Jaguar are good. But I'll be honest with you, there's tons and tons of decent full-size crossbows. Loads. You know, there's loads. The problem with pistol crossbows, there's 4 good ones, and that's it. Well, that's not actually true. There's a load of good ones depending on your price, but there are a couple that have better features than the old ones. Anyway, but there's loads of the old ones, the old style ones that you can get, but they have different. The older ones, the string is just pushed into a groove, so it wears away quicker. These ones have a cocking. Not a cocking, they have a trigger mechanism the same as a full-size crossbow. So the string doesn't wear out as much. Richard, also you can mod full-size bolts to shoot at the standard Cobra R9. Yeah, that's it. But I would say the R9, yeah, I've said that, I didn't even tell you what it's called. So what's that called? That is the EK Archery R9 crossbow. I'll link it for you because I said buy this and I never even told you what it's called, did I? So I have a habit of doing things like that because I just assume you forget that not everyone knows. Right, I'm going on Merlin Archery and I'll find it for you quickly. Right. Those crossbows, pistol crossbow, because they class that as a pistol crossbow, as I said. Right, hang on. I'll get you a link for that. EK Archery, Cobra R9. Yeah. But this is the basic model. For the full-size model, it's 180 quid. Is that what it's called? Lock gate mechanism. Nice one. Yeah, I never remember. I'll be honest with you. Unless you know a reasonable bit about crossbows, most people wouldn't know either. But you know what I mean? It is handy to know. Is that what it is? Lock gate mechanism. Cheers, Rich. Yeah, I like the old hedgehogs. I say they reckon they're getting rare. I still see them every year. As I say, I think they live in my garden because they've got like under our summer house. They can actually get under there but still be protected. And the fact that people are in there quite often, it's probably quite warm. It'd be quite fucking noisy though. So yeah, there'll be some more videos on this soon. I might think of something to do tomorrow. I might do the penetration test tomorrow. Or I might just do a quick video just mentioning the fact that you want to click that thing just to keep people safe. You know, a bit of a PSA kind of video. Lewis said, I almost got a free R9 to review, but they wanted me to find a woman to do the review for some reason. I remember you mentioning that. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it, Lewis? But slightly annoying. Yeah, you ought to get out of Wolf said for that. He'd be perfect for that. But I would struggle to get a bird to come around and shoot it as well, because not a lot of women I know are interested in stuff like that. CM said, mine was brown one. Never seen one of them below. Our tactical saying, no, don't matter. Get back to old comments. Wolf said, the Horizon Rage Spec Ops or Rage Elite are great, affordable, high power crossbows. My Rage Spec Ops chucks bolts like a cannon. What kind of power is that? Over 175? Because when they go like 175 compound, they're very powerful, aren't they? Nick, I've never seen a hedgehog myself, but I think I saw one on my security camera the other day. Either that or a big rat. It's unlucky you ain't seen one. Yeah, as I say, we see them here all the time because I think there's generations of them. They've been living in. I don't know how long hedgehogs lived, but we've had hedgehogs in our garden for over 20 years. Put it that way. Richard said, you should have transitioned into a woman, then you could get it. So I said, Mike, I seem to recall you said that you had a bug out. If you had to bug out, use family lorry. It's a crew cab, sort of flatbed, but I don't think it would but with a cage around it though. So it wouldn't take much to get some ply, put a sort of roof on it, and then put some tarps over or something. It wouldn't take long to make it livable, even in the back, I think. Crew cab, so you've got the, two rows of seats in it. So you could even get people, you could get about 7 people just in the cab when you're driving. And that's not even being squeezed. That's 3 in the front, 4 at the back. Lewis said, I'd well chucked a wig on for a free R9. So would I think. No, it's 185, 175. David said, try and leave the beneficial animals alone, and the nuisance ones are the only ones I shoot. Lots of bear and coyotes in my area, getting into garbage and killing neighbourhood strays. Yeah, you're lucky there that you're not lucky that you sort of got them animals, but lucky that you can hunt them if you want. Right, John. T2 said, was a fox outside 2 nights ago. Thought it was a rape scene was going on. Yeah, the fucking noises foxes make are they either sound like that, some kind of rape going on, or a baby is like in the woods. Really weird when you hear what sounds like a baby crying, and it's a fox. Tactical said, a cage. I just had a vision of you standing in it, flicking the V's under the zombies. Yeah, they wouldn't be able to get you. Like, there's no top on it, but the sides is a cage, and yeah. Metallic said, I'd take a bow or crossbow over a gun any type of day. Peter said, so far, under £2, you would recommend... So for 200 quid, you would recommend a full size... well, all depends, Peter. It depends what you want. That's what I mean. I don't know. It depends what you want it for. So I don't know. I don't think I would definitely recommend... I think it all depends what you want it for. Because there's big size differences. But that one over there, the R9, not the one of the magazine, the one of that, it's a little bit between. It's like a bit bigger. Well, I say a bit bigger. It's quite a bit bigger than a pistol. Not much smaller than a rifle, but it's full size crossbow, sorry. But it's not as wide. But it's still got the power. I think it's all personal preference. But matey did say full size. Rex, you're right, mate. You're right, mate. That's I can't talk now. Pete said, what does the fox say? CM said, still would like to see a video of your bug out stuff. I have got some videos of that if you want to see it. James said, you could get a girl off of Star Now, website for free. If you need someone to do a promo shoot, they'll work for free as long as you send them the video file. Ah, nice. Did not know that. Lewis, you better get hold of that place. David said, I get a kick out of people who don't like bats and possums. I have to educate them that they'll be swarming with bugs if it weren't for those two animals. There you go. That's it, innit, David? Yeah, totally agree with you there. Pete said, did a home COVID test today after work. I'm still safe. Nice one, mate. That's good. Well, just some cough in your face today. So that's an RC. Considering all your crossbows, all your family in it, I now have a vision of Dad's army. Up 2, 3, twang. 2, 3, down 2, 3. Fuck's sake. Yeah, you could get plenty of us in it. Yeah. Have to put some bunks in the back of it or something. But yeah, you could get... My whole family could get in that thing. Bit of target shooting was what I'd use it for. Well, I'll tell you what. The only thing I would say about the R9, though, it has to have specific bolts. It won't shoot standard bolts. So the bolts for it are expensive. If you want something to sit in your garden, have a little bit of a mess about shooting, pistol crossbow all the way, and the ones I would recommend are the redback, the horizon redback, which is, they won't look like this because I've put all my stuff on them. That's the horizon redback. Right. That's one of the best pistols you can get. The Tomcat Mark II or Tomcat 2, whichever one it is. But you'd have to, yeah. What's good about these is the bolts are really cheap. So you can buy hundreds of bolts. Yeah. What's the most important thing with a crossbow? The bolts. That's the thing you need to keep buying. Pistol crossbows, you can buy bolts so cheap. It's just so much cheaper to run a pistol crossbow, put it that way. But I like these smaller ones because, especially that Tomcat Mark II or Tomcat 2, it's like a little carbine. Flazzy said, "With all this talk of foxes, I think I'll go out and try and shoot some tonight." Metallic said, "Ginger lives matter. Flazzy everywhere. Every time someone kills a fox, one of us gets another white hair." Rex said, "You had luck finding any alternative bolts for the R9?" No. Well, I'll tell you what, Rex, I ain't bothered because I can't afford them. Because even the cheap ones are quite dear. I'm saying that I did buy one packet, and the ones for the R9, they was half price, but they're still quite dear for bolts, but they do shoot out of it all right. I've got them on that quiver. Phoenix said, home COVID tests are really easy to use. Made me gag, but not too bad. Yeah, Tomcat Mark II or whatever it is, I can never remember. What do they call it? Let me look. I'm not questioning his head. It's just, I'm sure, I always thought it was the Tomcat 2. What's that place? Enfield Arms, isn't it? Is it Enfield Arms? just it. Once I've questioned something, I just can't. You know what I mean? And for sports, that's it. That's the only place I know has them. I would like to call it the right name because it gets confusing, don't it? Have to have a vote. That one they just called it's Tomcat. Tomcat Ally. Yeah, I don't know what they call it. Tomcat Mark II. That's what it's called on Enfield. Yeah, Enfield Sports call it Tomcat Mark II. The Preppers Shop call it. Sure, they had one at one point. Fuck, I ain't got it anymore. Doesn't matter anyway. Yeah, Enfield Sports call it Tomcat Mark II, don't they? MK2. There's a white hair. I saw a young girl today dyed her hair grey. I laughed and told her I got mine for free. She wasn't amused. No, it's not. It's not. I don't believe you, Zed. It's just I'm sure, didn't we? I thought we'll. It's probably me. I've questioned it myself, and now I don't know. I was sure we used to call it the Tomcat 2, didn't we? It's just It just technically it means I've been wrong the whole time. That's all. But what I make sure I call it the right thing. Sure, I've used to call it that. Tomcat Mark II, you're right. But then saying that, I've got loads of videos called Tomcat 2. Tomcat 2. Oh, fuck no, Zed. It may be both. It may be different websites call it different things. Richard Mike, I should have the sword blade done tomorrow. Turned out perfect. Oh, can't wait, Rich. Yeah, let me know how much you want for it and all that, and we'll sort that out. Not on here, but yeah, I've got it on my videos, Zed, as Tomcat 2 and Tomcat Mark 2. So now I don't know. Don't matter. I think maybe some places call it, because it looks like the actual proper name is Tomcat Ally. Lewis said it goes Tomcat Mark II, Tomcat 2. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought. But yeah, the Tomcat Mark II is the old one this is what I thought it was. Tomcat Mark II is what the Steamboat's based on, isn't it? It don't matter. We're going on a fucking tangent now of crossbow names. That said, support Mike's crossbow habit. Yes, please. We'll have to have a vote, Zed. No, it's because I questioned it after you said, and then I thought, shit, I don't want to keep saying Mark II, and then people search Tomcat Mark II, find the old one, and then buy it, or I say Tomcat 2, they find that and buy the old one. So I just have to call it the Tomcat Allies from now on. That's what the box says. No, it's not that I don't believe you, Zed. It's just I thought, I'm sure I'd never called it that. David said, I got a nice 1997 F350 crew cab 4x4 pickup with a turbo diesel off-road bumper. That's a good bug-out truck and daily drive. I bet that does. Yeah, the truck that Zed was asking me about, that's their work vehicle. But yeah, it's I can't remember what make it is. But it's a crew cab tipper lorry, basically. So yeah. Then I said my neighbour was throwing a fly my away. I had the blade off it. I've got making a knife. And that's good. Yeah, good idea. It's perfect, that. James said, I keep thinking of the Rover Tomcat. Showing my eyes. You know what? I don't even know what that is. I'm assuming that must be some kind of car. If it's Rover. Oh, it is. I've never heard of one of them, yeah. 1992. I would have been 12 then. I've never really been into cars, though, in all honesty. Peter said, I want to get a crossbow for the summer. My dad used to have them when he was a kid on a farm. Can't remember what any of them were called. Who knows? It could be. I'll tell you what, a lot of people used to have Barnet crossbows back in the day. Funky, how you doing, mate? There was a couple on. Some did come over. He said, "Boo." Hello, son. Thanks for having me back in the stream earlier. Must be. That's all good, mate. Yeah, I'm used to modding, so I can sort of help you out of links and stuff like that, because that's what I do with Liam, share links and all that. And I'd by coincidence I'd seen that link, to your PayPal. I'd seen it by coincidence today while watching one of your videos, and that's how I knew it was there, just to go and get. As Ed said, what it says on the box, the one with the stock, is called Tomcat Allah. It's very confusing, and it's Ed. That's what I mean. See, that's three of us now who've all sort of said sort of right and wrong. We're right and wrong, so who knows? That's just, I don't know. That's what I mean, Zed. When you mentioned it, I questioned it, and then I thought, is it? Isn't it? I don't know. Richard Mike shared a photo in Twitch chat of the sword blade. Nice one. Let's have a look at that. It's been looking lovely anyway, Rich. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, because that's going to be one of my prized possessions. Something I've wanted for quite a while. Oh yeah, very nice, Rich. Yeah, it's looking good. Nice one, Rich. Yeah. Lewis said, I always wanted that one crossbow that fired slingshot ammo. Yeah, I think Richard's got one of them. And maybe Londinium Armory. I've heard they're good and bad. They're a bit weird. Or do you mean there's a new one, Lewis, I think, that shoots ball bearings. I may be wrong. I'm sure there's a new one that does. The problem with that one, I've heard, it had a steel cable as the string. So I think it wore it out a lot easier, quicker. Sounds like Lewis Prepper's shop do one that fires steel BBs. There you go. I think that's the one. David said, I wish the run flat military Hummer rims and tyres would fit my truck. That'd make it easy to get out of trouble area if your tyre was hit by shrapnel or a bullet. Yeah, that would. That's the kind of thing you want on something like that. Yeah, that'd be an amazing thing to have. The Black Hawk Compound is the one that Richard's got. Funky, have you only just finished your stream then, or had you gone off earlier? Because I know, as I said, there was some that came over from your stream, because they told me. I appreciate that. Got a bit quiet for a second. Just flash the old crossbow again. Old, new crossbow. That's what I've been doing today. So I sprayed the bayonet black, left the edge showing, made the sling, tidied up the stock, and then put the quiver on. Oh, you finished at 9:30, did you? Funky. Right then. Yeah, done a bit of work, and then got back on it. So there was another one that shot BBs. That was a recurve. Yeah, I can't ever remember, Zed. I know there was a couple there, wasn't there? But I could never remember. I was never really interested, because I thought maybe it might be a gimmick. I don't know. But I know a lot of people said they had issues with that steel cable as a string. Louise, how you doing? Cheers, Mike. It's Jamie's birthday tonight. He's 83. Happy 83rd, Jamie. Don't drink too much. You want to wake up in the morning. Sadly, the bolt pattern is different and would require a custom machine. That's a shame. Yeah, that's a shame. Then decides the top 3 suppliers shops. Well, again, that depends what you want and where you want, you know, where you're getting it. But I quite like Henny Haynes for knives and knife blanks, Prepper's Shop for stuff, you know, anything, and Merlin Archery for crossbows. They're the three that I use the most, I think. Let me just look at my... Oh, and a little add-on, I do quite like Blades UK. But it depends what you're buying. Looks like Big Cheese wants some anal intercourse. There's a steel cable as a string. I think I'll keep my fingers. Yeah, exactly. I may be wrong. They may not all have that, but I thought they did. Richard said, I served the cable with some fast flight to stop the wear on the rail. I said, that was right then. Lewis said F in the chat for Blades and Bows. I'll let that go because I hate the old F in the chat thing. But I know on it won't happen. I don't hate it, but on Liam's stream, they'd be talking about someone who actually died. And then all these kids would be writing F, 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 F. For actually, you know, in a quite disrespectful way. That's a joke what Lewis is doing there. But Richard said, oh no, I read that, didn't I? Lewis said, yeah, he said steel cable. I think I'll keep my fingers. Yeah. Poor old, yeah, Blades and Bows. I used to love. They was great, they was. The only issue I had with Blades and Bows, it wasn't an issue. It was just they didn't take PayPal. So it made it slightly difficult for me to pay. There's quite a few trolls coming on now. Dave says to Lewis, me too. I've worked around cable with off-road winches, and cable is a scary thing when it breaks. So tactical blocked someone, CM accidentally unblocked them, and they hit them. Sorry, I can't call out people's mistakes on the modding. Joking. Rich said, but shooting the BBs really wore the string out. Started fraying. Very strange when you get the old trolls coming on. Now, that's an easy mistake to do. The old when you do it at the same time, and one blocks and unblocks at the same time. Oh, sadly, you lot are missing all of these because well, I think you are anyway. Yeah, I'm going to put a quick advert on. It's a 30-second ad. It's my own ad, so make sure you watch it. I don't actually get paid for you watching these ads. But if you want to support this channel, this is how. Very easy. And the links to do that is either at the top of the description, you'll see donations, or you'll notice people in the chat are putting !support. Anyone can do that. If you put the word !support, as you'll see it there, the link will come up for the coffee.com donations thing. And that pays straight into my PayPal. And if you do donate, you get your own little special video that I put on. I need to try it out, see what happens. James says, funny how the clowns turn up in pairs. Yeah, bizarre, isn't it? I don't know where they come from. And if anything, I find it funny. Right, let me refresh because someone just supported. Right, let me see what it says. Right, I think that was an anonymous one. But, so whoever just donated then, this is for you. Cheers. I appreciate it. So I'm currently on my 10th hour of my druggy neighbour's loud music, so I'm going to take it out on the trolls. I don't blame you. I don't bloody blame you. Tactical. Lewis said, I like Addy Addy even as elevator shopping channel music. I searched through deliberately to try and find. I would have picked like the cheesiest elevator music you could find, but I thought I better not go too fucking far. Funky said you can order a C-RAM to keep the enemy at bay. That's so. Nick's Knives said tactical pirate fastest mod in the West. In the West, yeah. Should I say the Northeast? You're off, Peach. Good night, mate. Jamie said I'm not 83. Notice I didn't receive a cutlass you made as a birthday present. When you're 83, you'll get it. Happy birthday, Jamie. Hope you've had a good one, mate. Perfect weekend, isn't it? Sadly, I'm off the booze this weekend because I've been overdoing it. Because last week, you know what I drank last week? I drank that whole entire bottle of vodka and 2.5 cans of Budweiser. So I think I ought to have a bit off. Keep drinking whole bottles of vodka. And that's a big bottle as well. Hennessy Marks, you right, mate? And he said, I gave a don't. Oh, thank you, Hennessy. That video was for you. So here you go, Hennessy. I'll put it back on again now. Not you. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes it pops up, sometimes it doesn't. But I appreciate that because anyone who does actually donate, a lot of people don't know this, but I don't actually get any. My income I get through YouTube, but I don't actually get paid by YouTube because I've been demonetized. So virtually all my income comes from using YouTube as a way to, not just that, I do YouTube as a hobby, do you know what I mean? But if I need any income, I have to get it through YouTube somehow. Using YouTube to sell things, or I make stuff, make these bayonets and sell them, these quivers, slings. But that's all through YouTube. But I appreciate it because, yeah, thank you. Yeah, see you later, Peach. David said, what is the situation in the UK dealing with people with air rifles and pellet guns? It's what do they call it over here? Reasonable force, I think they call it. So if someone comes into your house and they're unarmed and you've stabbed them to death, you would probably get done for it, but not necessarily. If someone comes in your house with a knife and you attack them with a knife and kill them, or you attack them with a baseball bat, that's called reasonable force. So you can, often you can come out of it with no issues. But you can't, if they come in your house and you bat them with a baseball bat, you can't then beat the shit out of them on the floor. That's classed as too much in this country. Air rifles, I don't know. If someone come into your house with a knife and you shot them with an air rifle, you might be all right. Do you know, Tactical, I didn't even get that joke. It wasn't until I looked at the name. Peter said, happy 83rd, Jamie. Can you see the chat okay? Kenny said, did you ever get that laptop you were promised one night? Who offered me a laptop? I can't remember that, Kenny. What one of the drunk nights was it? They must have offered me that and they never followed through. Disgraceful. Lewis said, don't do what that one bloke did and roll them up on the carpet and beat them. Yeah, exactly. But in this country, it really depends on what is happening and what there was a case recently, wasn't there, with I think it was a Sikh bloke who had his ceremonial knife on him, which he's allowed to carry because it's religious purposes or whatever. Wasn't he attacked by 3 or 4 blokes or something with knives? He used that knife and actually killed 2 or 3 of them, and it got away with complete, nothing at all. Got away, he how it should be. Nick said, I think it would depend on how you phrased it. If you said you kept an air rifle for the purpose of home defense, then it'd be illegal. Oh, exactly. That's another difference, isn't it? Yeah. You're not allowed anything for self-defense in this country. Oh, I say that it's all about wording, as Nick says. If you suddenly say something is for self-defense, even if it's an umbrella, like you could be walking down the street with an umbrella, and if a policeman said, well, you got that umbrella, and you were stupid enough to say for self-defense, that umbrella is then classed as a weapon. You could get arrested for having an offensive weapon, even though it's an umbrella, because you're carrying it as a weapon. Dad said, I'm just a frail old man, so I'd have to use something as an equalizer. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Exactly. That's a great thing. I don't believe you're a frail old man, though. Tactical said, me offered a tablet on Drunk Stream, then dug it out. It's too old. Android 4.2. It'd be no use. Funny, I was honestly thinking about that today. You know what? I couldn't even remember that, Tactical. What made me say I'd have that off you then? What was that for then? I must have been drunk when I was accepting things. I think I don't even. What was I going to use that for? Streaming in the Wendy house or something, maybe? I say Wendy house, summer house. Kenny said the laptop so you could see the chat. Oh, right, I get you now in the Wendy house. Can't remember when you. Yeah, I get you now. And that was Tactical. Yeah. Yeah. I could. I have got a laptop, so I could do it out there. Yeah, thank you, Tactical. I get you now. By the way, just so everyone knows, I'm probably going to have to go off at 11:30 tonight because where I've been pissing around doing things I sort of shouldn't be, or not doing the things I should be doing, I've got a lot of stuff to do tonight. Bristol Roy, you went on tonight. I have not seen your name, but I know sometimes you watch. Roy, if you're watching, just say hello in the comments so I can tell you something. But the thing is, if someone broke into my place and I was in and I found them, it wouldn't matter about the law. I'd lose my shit and attack until they ran off. Stop moving. Well, that's the thing, Peter, isn't it? And that's that. I can imagine that being a common and, in my mind, an acceptable thing to do. But you know, most people, it's another thing. I'm not encouraging people to do things, you know, that are against the law. But when that shit's happening, some people don't care what happens. They don't give a shit if they go to prison. You know what I mean? And that's a completely different story. Nick said, I think that was when you were watching WrestleMania. Oh, then, yeah, bloody hell. Funky said, what's your favourite knife from a film? Rambo First Blood here. Funny thing is, Funky, behind there, but I can't show it because I've got the thing. Let me see. Quickly, right, I'm going to show my clip of Are Those Guns Real? And then look just about here. I think it's here. You might see it. So you ready? Did you see it? So look there when I play this clip. It's good I've changed this slight change. I have got a Rambo knife. You know what, Funky? I don't know. I'll tell you what. I've always had a thing for trench knives. So, you know, the old knuckle duster knives that we can't have now. Probably one of those. So, but I can't think of a specific thing. Maybe the one from Commando that Bennett has. That people call me Bennett sometimes. Yeah, Bennett's knuckle duster knife, trench knife. Maybe. I'm not sure. The Predator knives are quite nice. But yeah, you can't beat the old Rambo. I could get it, but I'd have to take that thing down. I'll get it for you, fuck it, because it don't matter. I can just open this edge. This is a cheap one, though. This is a cheap one, but I've always liked the shape of this. This is a cheap sort of knockoff one, but you get the idea of the nice shape. I've always liked that. Is a fucking awesome, lovely shape blade. Always love that shape of that blade, and it's a good setup. Covered in bloody dust. I'll probably start sneezing in a minute now. Tactical mods, pull your fingers out. I got blisters from this single-handed blocking. Yeah, that's a lovely, lovely blade shape. But this is a cheap, like 15 quid thing. I say cheap, but it's not like a genuine one. You know what I mean? That was bought for me by Mark as a birthday or Christmas present. So I'd said not frail, but use a walking stick because of my bad knee. Wink. CM said at the end of the day, you have to think about yourself sometimes. Exactly. Kenny said, Zed, did you take an arrow to it? Yeah, did you? That's from a game that Zed might not get that reference. There's a game thing where this character says he took an arrow to the knee. Sing S, you right, mate? How you doing? David said, I always carry a blade just in case, but since we can carry open carry here in the States, we've been thinking of either a semi-auto or a revolver. Might as well, and you know, if you can. Thinks all right, Mike. That Horizon review was good. You're going to do accessories for it. Yeah, probably. Although most of my accessories will fit on it anyway. Look at that. Sling. And I put a stock on mine already. Couldn't resist. Already been messing with it. Couldn't help myself. Frank said, yeah, Predator knife was one of my on my mind too. Small world. It's nice. And I'll forget about that. Crocodile Dundee Bowie, of course. Yeah, and I've made some bows. Actually, I had a fad recently, Funky, where I made about fucking 10 Bowie knives, I think. Yeah, forget. That's the issue with me. I often forget what's out there. Yeah, I only remembered that because I got one. Well, you said about it. Yeah, Crocodile Dundee Bowie is a good one. Dave said, I got one of those survival Rambo knives. Can't carry it due to the blade length. Coach said, always loved Arnie's knife and Predator. Yeah, great stuff. Yeah, that's it. Skyrim reference, any it Wolf said. Zed said to Kenny Law, I did get smacked on it once. Not too hard, luckily. With a bock, and I was trading though. Does that count? Tactical said, I got my first 1cm. You got your first 1cm. You're one of us now. What did he get? I've missed something there. Oh, block someone. Is that what you mean? James said, I carry 2 pounds of frozen chicken wings everywhere I go. Blunt force weapon. Yeah, and then you can eat it afterwards, can't you? Let off some steam. Yeah, that's it. He chucks the fucking pipe into him. Talking of walking sticks, I think I've got my latest one down here. Yeah, there it is. So this was based off of this was made from a beach hoe handle, and it's got these little markings at 1 foot, 2 foot, and a 1 inch markings, and that is based off of a miner's pit deputy stick, they call it, or a yard stick. So that's a yard. That is 3 foot. Yeah. That's the last one I made. And I reckon that'd be quite a good stick if you needed it for various different things. Stu, you still on? I wanted to show you something. I just remembered something because it's in the same place as that. I hope he's on. Stu, let me know if you're on. I've got to show you something. Granted, yardstick tutorial is good. Cheers, mate. Yeah, they're very popular there. One of my most popular videos at the minute, style of videos at the minute, is homemade walking stick videos. Yeah, they're very popular. Stu straightened it out. Well, almost. But it's good enough. I just wanted to show you. Yeah, I got it straight. I know you wondered, hadn't you? Yeah, it's nice and straight now. I still need to do some videos on most of the stuff you sent, Stu. It's just I'm sort of so behind on things at the minute. I'll get round to it all. So said, fuck's sake, you other mods, give me a chance. Yeah, cheers for that, Stu. Yeah, straightened out all right, didn't it? Dave said, well, it's dinner time, man. I've got to go. Got to eat. It was fun watching and chat. Now, thank you for joining, David. I hope you join in again. I stream every Friday and Saturday, 9:30 till 12-ish, depending. That's UK time. Yeah, cheers for watching. Appreciate it. And Alex said, I just finished my second homemade staff. It's not that straight there. No, I've got, you can't see it. Oh, yes, you can. See that there? I've got a staff there. That's not straight either. But it's straight enough. Stu said, nice one, mate. That does some damage, that thing. I remember you testing it. When I get something right to test, I'll give something a good old belting with that thing. Oh man, that fucking thing, if that hit you, that fucking kill. But it's a different kind of hit. You know, you can get hit with base with that. But that's different. That's like being sort of whipped, but with something hard. Nate, how you doing, mate? You all right? Dad said, can't beat a good walking. Exactly. Kenny says, people love making tutorials. Yes, yeah. Not making tutorials. I know what you mean. People love the making tutorials, not making tutorials. Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, the walking stick ones are more popular than my knife builds. Really said these trolls don't realise we mods are like a bunch of vultures. We feed off blocking accounts. Oh, Candice sends our love, does she? Fuck's sake. Tactical's trolling me now. Natural Born Kit, serial killer. You're right, mate. How you doing? You've been getting a lot of views after that video, mate, he shared for you. Stu said, yeah, it's like middle ground between a whip and a baseball bat. I think it is. I'm just going to put a quick warning out to anyone watching. Because there are trolls on, there are people coming on deliberately trolling tonight. If you're not a massive regular that everyone doesn't know, try not to be too weird, because you may accidentally get blocked because it might appear like you're trolling, because there are actual people deliberately trolling tonight. Yeah. So try not to write anything too strange if you're not a regular. Or you haven't, if you haven't been on for like months, just be careful, because I don't want you getting blocked. This ain't aimed at anyone specific. Stu's, I read that. Wolf says, best movie knives is that guy's boot from Roadhouse. That's what serial kid said. I'm killing it, mate. So yeah. Also, if you do get blocked and you're not a troll, send me an email and I'll unblock you. But not tonight. If you want to know what my email is, it's this. Rich said these. Oh, no, I read that, didn't I? I think I've caught up with all the thing now. James said, I'm a brummie. Weird is baseline for me. I'll try my best. You've been all right, Dad. But I've noticed there's a couple of comments that there's a couple of people who got blocked. And I think they probably weren't trolling, but I can't be asked to, you know what I mean? Try not to act too weird, and then that'd be all right. But I'll sort them out afterwards. Funny thing is, see, the Ligma, I mentioned Ligma after the Candice thing. This is on my fucking Twitch last night. There's a cool knife from movies, Ice Cube's dagger sling from Johnny Mnemonic. Don't know if I've seen that. Yeah, I can't ever remember any bloody things. The only ones I can ever remember is Rambo and Predator and the Commando one. But as I say, I've always had a thing for trench knives, knuckle duster knives. Bad trigger discipline there. I wouldn't do that with a gun. Slingshot's not on tonight. I hope he's not been shooting his fucking gun again. What have I got to play on here? Well, it's all been quiet. Oh, here. This is for the trolls anyway.
What, are you retarded?
Forgot about that. Forget that one exists. But I read that, didn't I? Come on, the slow-mo's not on. Stu said 40 was going to take his head off at one point. Did you notice that, Stu? I had to tell him in the end to stop doing that. Because I noticed no one in the comments apart from me. Tactical noticed it, but he hadn't commented on the video anyway. You know, some people just don't want, you know what I mean. It's other sense not to do it, but yeah, you noticed it, did you, Stu? And in the end, I had to message it. Not message him. I wrote in a comment to don't stop doing it. Kenny said, I've not watched Upgrade yet, but I've got it. Nick said, saw Slingshot streaming earlier, so he hasn't shot his eye out yet. James said, the knife from Scream. Yeah, that's quite an iconic one, James. Said, was that your guts just then? I think it is. Yeah, it's been going on all fucking night. James, I'm a horror fan. I've got a big pile of. Oh, no, it wasn't a fart. No. I've got loads. If I was ever a collector of other things, it'd be films. You can't see them. But up there and above me are tons of DVDs. Yeah, I like my old horrors. It was probably. I'll tell you what it was. It wasn't my guts, Zed. It's I got a bit of sort of wind moving around, but it sounds like I'm protesting too much now, don't it? Oh, it's boiling hot in here. What's the weather like where you are? If you're in England. Wolf said, Funky Prepper is the master of crafty stuff, farts. Oh, fuck's sake. That's all right. What Natural Born Serial Killer was writing was all right. He said, if I was a collector of anything, he would collect pussy. Yeah, it's nice. I directed a low-budget horror film back in 2008. What's your top 3 films? Oh, you have to share that with us, James. I'd be interested in watching that. I'm a big fan of just watching films in general, but I do love horrors. Horror now depends on what you mean. Right? Do you mean serious horror or comedy horror or just horror? And maybe sci-fi. I do sci-fi horror. I do like. So my top 3 horrors, I'd probably say The Thing, if that's classed as a horror, because it is a horror, but it's sci-fi. The Thing, definitely. Brain Dead, or in I can't remember if you said you was English or American. Brain Dead, also known in America as Dead Alive, and I don't know. It's hard to say a top 3. I quite like the film Martyrs. Midsummer, I quite enjoyed recently. Bought that on Blu-ray like that so much. Yeah, very, very difficult for me to say. I don't know if I've ever truly thought about what my top 3 would be. But there are some that I straight away know that I like a lot. I'm looking up there because that's where they are. Most of them. It Follows was very good as well. I liked It Follows. Natural Serial Killer said he likes snuff films. Fuck's sake. Paul said Dawn of the Dead 2. No, Dawn of the Dead, sorry. Aliens. Night of the Living Dead, black and white. Aliens, yeah, Dawn of the Dead as well. I like both of them too. Wrong Turn, I'm not sure if I've seen that. I have. I've seen the first because there's loads of them in there. But yeah, Natural Serial Killer is not trolling. He's just trying to have a laugh. But you know what I mean. But I would be careful though because I don't think the mods are in the mood tonight. James said, "If you love sci-fi, you must." Oh, I've got Event Horizon up there. I've got that up there. And he said, "Event Horizon," and he's in Birmingham. Not far from me then. But your wife's American. Nice one. Yeah, I got Event Horizon up there. That's very good. Outdoors Addictions, how you doing, mate? I've just been modding my new crossbow. Crypta, how you doing, mate? He said I'd suggest Scatty in the Closet and Willy's Wonderland. Okay, sounds good to me. Sean, You right, mate? He said, I had a few beers. What's the best horror I can watch on Netflix, Prime, YouTube? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's on then. Tell you what, if you can find it and you want to have a bit of a fun sort of different thing to watch, here's a couple. Vamp, as in VAMP, Vamp, and Maniac Cop. Try them. Metallic said, if you're into reading, I can suggest Jack Ketchum. A couple of his books were made into films. Low budget. All right. Richard Lehman. I've read quite a few Richard Lehman books. Yeah, it's good old Richard Lehman. Yeah, nice one, Metallic. Yeah, I like Richard Lehman. Yeah, and I've read loads of Stephen King books as well. Next night, yeah, Halloween is an absolute classic as well, Nick. But it's a Wolf Creek. Wolf Creek's great as well. Yes. Wolf Creek always gives me a laugh. I don't think it's meant to be a comedy, though. We also said the bulked up inbred in Wrong Turn was a top shelf archer. Yeah, 28 days and 28 weeks later. Outdoors Dixon said, badass. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Yeah, quite nice, isn't it? Yeah. It didn't look like that when I bought it, but it's got a magazine on it. So 5-shot magazine. I added the sling, the stock, the quiver there, sorry. Different handle, bayonet. Metallic, he said he has all Richard Lehman books. I think my mum does as well. She used to buy all of his stuff, and she even used to buy these little books that had like 10 pages in, these weird little things. Yeah, Doomsday, James. I got that. I've got that up there as well, and I actually got a new copy of that recently. Yeah, I like Doomsday. Driller Killer I've seen years ago, but I ain't got a copy of that. And Inbred as well, I've got a copy of that. My dad said, I love you, Mum. Yeah, she loves her horror books. Yeah, I think she's pretty much got everything Richard Lehman's ever done. Yeah. Sadly, he died. The thing I used to like about Richard Lehman, right? Inside the book, you know, like Stephen King has the picture of I know he's all right, he's not trolling, Zed. I was just having a chat with him about. I don't think he was. It's because I said about my mum buying the books. You're not really ain't in the mood tonight, are you? That's one regular already blocked. I noticed. One got threatened, and our second one. That's right. Richard Lehman. You know, in books, when you open the inside cover and it shows the picture of the author, Richard Lehman is stood in his office with a great big fuck off magnum in his inside book picture. That looked like trolling, Zed. It did, but he wasn't. He was saying that because I said about my mum having all the Richard Lehman books. Out of context, that does look like trolling, but I don't think he meant like that. Wolf said, yeah, I looked Slingshot, but going to hold out for the copy of Gladius. Yeah, Terrifier was good. I've got that downloaded. I've done it, Zed. It's all right. I've done it. I can do it easily on here. That's all good. I appreciate you modding and doing it with an iron fist, Zed. But yeah. Yeah, Human Centipede. Terrifier was good. Liam put me onto that. I quite like that. It's quite very, very extreme gore in it. Rex says Human Centipede, and my daughter made me watch it. I then realised she was fucked in the head. Have you seen all of them? They get like weirder as they go on. Tactical said Crypto top tip, don't stare down shotgun barrels. Creepshow 1 and 2, yeah, I've got them as well because I've got loads of Stephen King because that's based on Stephen King. George Romero directed it, didn't he? And Stephen King stories basically wrote them. I think Stephen King's in the first one, isn't he? Yeah, Creepshow is probably one of my old-time favourite films. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, and Silver Bullet, I've got that as well. Virgil said, what movie about Necronomicon but not the Evil Dead? Oh, I don't know, because, yeah. Oh, that's a difficult one, because I think the Necronomicon gets mentioned in quite a few things, don't it? It's not Wishmaster, is it, or something like that, or one of those, a Wes Craven film. Bob, how you doing, mate? You right, Bob? Breathe fire, you right, mate? And he said, I'm late. Forgot you were live. Kenny said, oh, what's Parasite? Is Parasite any good? Because I've got that. Is Parasite as in the is it Korean? I don't know if it's Korean or not, but you know, that kind of area. Or is it a different one? I imagine there's quite a few films called Parasite. I've got that ready to watch. Yeah, Bob, if you want to see my new crossbow that I've been setting up tonight. Well, I said it didn't look like that when I bought it. So I've put the stock on. It's got a magazine, bayonet that I made, sling that I made. Thank you, Bob. And he said, Mike, that is sweet. Stu said, would you class Jaws as horror? I would say Jaws is a horror, definitely, yeah. It surprises me that Jaws is, I'm looking up there. Jaws, where is my fucking copy of Jaws? Yeah, Jaws is a 12. I would have thought Jaws would be much more than a 12. Thank you, Crypty. I don't suppose you've seen it, have you? Yeah, I put the stock on it yesterday. I put a sling on today. The quiver, so you got some spare bolts. The magazine, obviously, that comes on it. Yeah, nice bayonet. I just need a riser to drop the handle down a little bit. Actually, even my daughter was traumatized by the second one. The second one's insane. The third one goes completely mental. Again, so yeah, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, but quite a pleasant surprise. Oh, Parasite. All right, I'll watch it. Crypto, awesome crossbow. Thank you, mate. Tactical. Crypto, just looking out for you. And he said, haha, I didn't stare down the front this time, Tactical. Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry, Slingshot. Just said the mummy mentions the Necronomicon. And I went, yeah, was there an answer, Persia? Was there an answer to that? I can't think of one specifically, and I may be wrong about Wishmaster. That's just the first thing that came to my head. James said the William Castle remakes are fun. Ghost shit, 13 Ghosts. Oh, I like 13 Ghosts. Yeah, 13 Ghosts is very good. And so is Haunted Hill. Yeah, you're right. Ghost Ship I've never seen. But I own both 13 Ghosts and House on Haunted Hill remakes. And I think they're both excellent. James said Jaws was originally an R-rated. I thought it would have been. I've got quite a few DVDs in that now that I'm sure were rated higher when I was younger. Yeah. It was changed in the 90s that audience matured with the genre. Crypto said, Crypto, if anyone wonders, is Slingshot Warrior's alternative account because he can't comment on here as Slingshot Warrior. So Crypto is Slingshot Warrior, if you know who Slingshot Warrior is. Crypto said, Honsho knives, swords and blades available in the UK. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're available. You can get that Honshu toothpick you can get over here from Pepper Shop. Yeah, they sell that in Prepper Shop, that one. Yeah, they've got the Honshu Boshin toothpick, the Honshin Conqueror Bowie, the Conqueror D2, the Honshu Karambit, the Honshu throwing knives, the Honshu Sekiruti line lock knife, and the Honshu Tanto. "13 erotic ghosts" wasn't bad. I haven't seen that one. Zed said Ghost Ship was good, Mike. You should watch it. Yeah, I've never got round to that one, Zed. I'll have to look into that one then. Yeah, that's the only one of those I've not watched. There's plenty of merchandise if you lot are interested in it. Persia said the movie I was thinking of about is just called Necronomicon. All right, nice one. Yeah, he tricked me there. Cray said, "Do you ever get raided by the feds?" Last time the police came around here was 2017, November 2017. Wasn't for weapons. They've never been here for weapons ever. But my house has been raided at least 6, 7 times, maybe. 6 times, maybe 7, I don't know. But it's not for weapons, but they always check my stuff. They always manage to get some weird warrant for some bullshit that's not true. You know, I don't know if I'm on some kind of weird list, but the warrant they get is such fucking crap. But no, they've never done anything like that. They've never bashed my door down or anything. But yeah. James said The Shining and Doctor Sleep were good. Doctor Sleep leaned a little too heavy into the mysticism trope. But what are you going to do? Kubrick is dead. I've read The Shining. I've seen the Kubrick Shining and there's a Stephen King Shining. I've got Doctor Sleep DVD and the book. I'm going to read the book first and then watch the film. I know the film is a sequel to The Shining, the book, and The Shining, the film, aren't they? But the Stanley Kubrick's film isn't the same as the book, is it? But I've heard it's quite good still. Metallic said they rate their films at a higher age on DVDs as they could be watching them alone at home in the dark. Whereas the pictures, your other people, and the lights come on after. Yeah, good point. Good point. Also said if the mags don't come out soon, I'm just going to buy 2 more RX and put the mags on. I was tempted to do that myself. I may end up doing that. I may end up buying another one. I may end up buying 2 because now I've made this one into a carbine. It's going to be a long time because I can't really afford it. But I wouldn't mind buying another one to have as a pure pistol because I've made this into a carbine now. I wouldn't mind a pure small pistol one. And I also want to get another one and put this stock on it. But then I wouldn't have my Tomcat 2 then. Maybe I'm going to have to get another Tomcat 2. Another fucking ending. That's 3 crossbows I want. I've got them all as well. Grip said, bring out the beautiful spiral walking. You know what? By pure coincidence, I put it in that bloody box yesterday. So I can't now. I can get this one out there. Yeah, isn't that a strange coincidence, Crypto? I can get this one out there, which is the Pitt Deputy Miner's Yardstick. Yeah, I put that bloody one in that box, and now it's got all that stuff on it yesterday. I don't know why I'm doing it. I can't remember why I put it in there. Isn't that strange? Yeah, I put it in that box yesterday. Wolf said, want to see a fucked up horror? Watch The Taking. I'll tell you something you might be interested in. Psycho Gorman. Tactical said, Wolf said, I've seen them for sale on Dutch websites. I wonder if they'll ship as a website was English. I've seen that as well. I've seen that they was in foreign. James says, Stephen King version of the movie series was only greenlit because he was pissed at Kubrick's treatment of his book. In my opinion, Kubrick nailed The Shining. Stephen King is just bitter. Kubrick's Shining is a classic, and it deserves the praise it gets, but it's not the same as the book, is it? I actually don't mind the sort of mini-series version of it because it's actually exactly the same as pretty much exactly the same as the book. But yeah, you know, I think it's personal preference, and I don't know, but me overall, I think the book is the best of all of them. But I know a lot of people say the film is better than the book, but they're different. It's not the same story, really. It's only vaguely. Kubrick's Shining is really only vaguely based on the book, isn't it? Thank you. I love that video, mate. A great weapon. Thank you. Yeah, I was really happy with this, and it only took. You know, it looks quite simple. It only took about 2 hours to make. Solid as fuck, though, as well. It's a beach hoe handle. Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. All right, check that one out. Tokyo Gore Police. No, I've never seen that. Heard of it, though. I have heard of it. Crypto said, I'm still glad you added the metal disc on the metal collar like I suggested. Don't, because you was doing your walking stick video the other day, Crypto. I was going to message you. I was going to comment saying, Why haven't you done the collar on the end? Haha, joking. James said, it's better than the book, King of Waffles on Fries. I suppose it depends what you like, because one of my things is I've read quite a few Stephen King books, and I know some people hate his books for waffling on fries, as you say. That's partly what I like about his books. I like that he goes on and on and on and on. As I say, personal preference. So I know a lot of people don't really like Stephen King books. Irishman said, hello, Irishman, by the way. He said, before I forget, I wanted to recommend a docudrama about pirates called The Lost Pirate Kingdom. I've only watched the first episode, but it's worth a watch, especially if you like Black Sails. All right, I'll try and check that out one day. You know me, I'll probably forget, but I appreciate the recommendation. Matt, how you doing, mate? Yeah, happy bank holiday. Sadly, I ain't going to make the most of it this time round because I'm off the drink for this week of how much I drank last week. Yeah, so I might save my liver for about 3 weeks and then I say go out, sit in my garden or go up a field. I'm planning. I wouldn't mind. What I want to do, actually, I think in about 3 weeks, I won't mind going up some field and just getting drunk, looking at a nice view till it's, stay out till the sun comes up. That's like a perfect evening for me. A couple of mates. But I'll have to see who's out because it's got to be people who will be prepared to stay out all night. James said, what did you think of Green Inferno? Not exactly Cannibal Holocaust. I haven't actually seen that. Is that, you know what? I'm unaware of that one. Cannibal Holocaust, yes. Green Inferno. I must have missed that one. All right, I'm just Googling it now. I'm surprised I missed that. Eli Roth as well. Yeah, that's bizarre. I'm surprised I've missed that. That's somehow gone completely under my radar. Matt said, wish my mate would cut down her drinking. Just left her as I'm a bit stoned, but I don't drink. Yeah, I can't stop when I start. Last week I drank. So that drinking stream last week, I drank the whole 70 centiliter bottle of vodka and 2.5 cans of Budweiser, which that's getting on for nearly 30 units of booze. It's quite a lot for one night. That said, come to mine, Mike, and bring some tools. Can introduce you to my neighbours. Yeah. Both being present for a bit. That said, I'm surprised Stephen King hasn't gone mad about the Dark Tower film. Yeah, I think I don't know what he really thinks of that because I think there's a touchy. I won't go into it on here, but I think there's a touchy issue with it. If you complain too much, people accuse you of being something. I'll say it. I think if people start complaining too much about the Dark Tower film, you end up getting accused of being racist. Because in the Dark Tower originally, Roland is white, and there's whole issues of, like with the thing, people. An example, people say, "Oh, that character shouldn't be that color," blah blah blah, and then you can't say that's racist. But in the Dark Tower, he is specifically supposed to be white, and there's even plot points of him having a black woman try to kill him because he's white. And then to change the character to black, it makes that whole lot make no sense at all. And the problem with the Dark Tower, do you like it, Persia? I've heard that people who never read the books don't understand the film totally. And didn't make no sense to them. And people who have read the books, it has so much changed, it sort of spoiled it. I would never actually. My actual favourite series of books in the world is the Dark Tower. Stephen King's Dark Tower. I love them. And the issue with that film was such a fucking flop. They'll probably never ever make any Dark Tower films now. They was going to make a TV series where that bloody film was such a flop. They've cancelled it. They're not even going to make a TV series of it now. It's a shame. Matt said, seen a new film called Spell about voodoo magic. Stuff's pretty good to watch. All right. Green Inferno, I might check out later. I was unaware of that. Yeah, Kill List, excellent. I like Kill List. That's I can't remember his name now. But Kill List, yes, that's the I can't remember his name. But he's just done have you seen his new film? Is it called Under the Earth? I can't remember his bloody name now, mate. He done Kill List. Same bloke who did I can't remember. Looking up there. I like Kill List. One of my favourite actors is Neil Maskell. Grip says it's Memorial Day weekend here. We've got what we call a bank holiday weekend. But he said maybe King Owen goes mad if he doesn't get a good deal. Maybe, Peter. Could be that. I don't know. But I know a lot of people had an issue with the Dark Tower because Idris Elba being in it. And it changing so much. And I know there's nothing wrong with characters being different colours, but I think races, sorry, not colours. That sounded wrong. I think sometimes some stories are supposed to be a certain way. Because to me, if a character was written a certain way, I think it should stay that way. But if it's never been written that way, you can change it. You know, like a film that's never been referenced to anything else, I think you can change it. But books, I think it should try and stay how it is. And especially if it's a specific plot point about being a certain race. Because to me, and I don't want to go too deeply into it, because if you say certain things, you know, you get accused of things. But to me, what they did with the Dark Tower would be like having the character Shaft played by a white man. That wouldn't actually make any sense because he's supposed to be a black man. You know what I mean? Shaft wouldn't work as a white man. He's not supposed to be white. He's supposed to be black. You know what I mean? But I'm going to stop that though. James said Kubrick gave him the finger on The Shining by putting a broken down red Volkswagen in the credits, reference in the book. Tarrant said, I persuaded someone to watch Unfriended at the pictures when he went out on a date. Afterwards, he said he's scared for life. Scarred for life. The blender incident. Pretty severe. Matt said, as you know, Michael, I live in Cornwall. We have the G7 summit coming up. We're expecting a lot of visitors. Fucking hell. Yeah. Yeah, I bet you are, Matt. Crypto, that's why I didn't watch the Dark Tower. But yeah, I've got nothing against characters going from male to female if it's never been written that way. But if something's been specifically written as they're supposed to be a certain race, and Roland is actually supposed to be white. There's a whole one of the whole entire books is about one of the other characters is a black lady trying to kill him because she hates white people. And then if he's black, well, what is she going to be then? White? And then that opens up another kind of fucking worms. I don't know, but whatever. But my actual one of my favorite stories of anything is the Dark Tower, and that was I don't know if I'd watch that film. Peter said read and watched a lot of King, but never the Dark Tower. Peter, there's a lot of people who haven't. I came to the Dark Tower quite late on. I've read quite a few Stephen King books. I'm not saying I think if you like Stephen King's writing, you like his writing. I've known people, I've recommended them Stephen King books and they read it and they can't stand it. But if you like his style of writing, you like it. You know what I mean? And I do. The Dark Tower, I'll put it this way, Peter. If you ever fancy reading The Dark Tower, the first book was quite old. And I think Stephen King never planned it to be a series. When you read it, it seems like it meant to end. But I think it was popular enough that he brought it back. So the first book is a little bit different than all the rest. And they get better and better and better. So if you've read the first one and thought, I don't know about that. They get better and better and better as they go along. And it's really epic. And nearly every single one of Stephen King's books are related in some way to the Dark Tower books. Zed said, I went nuts when they made James Bond blonde. He could have dyed his hair, the bastard. Exactly. They said Dirty Harry is a small Asian girl, identifies as a unicorn. There you go. James said King's son, Joe Hill, better writer in my opinion. I've never read him, James, but I know about Joe Hill. I've never read his stuff. Never read it. Grip said Wolf's Head has a big crossbow. You should make that slide bayonet for him, Mike. I'll think about it. Nick said one of the things with the nature with casting is when they cast able-bodied people in the role of a disabled person. You know, that's another good point, Nick. Yeah, there's a lot of things like that, and I don't know, but it can go very deep into it. But especially if there's an actor who can do it, then why not? Yeah, but I know what you mean. Funny thing is, because I have to wear a hearing aid, right? So we can go on a little bit of a tangent with stuff like that. There was a bit of controversy recently about a hearing actor. I don't know to the degree, what people think about it, but this is just something I've read. I've got no real opinion on it, but I'm mentioning it because I have to wear a hearing aid. I don't have to. Most of the time I can get away without it, but I'm deaf as fuck at the minute. There's a film come out about a drummer who goes deaf, and people was saying about that because the actor playing it can hear. I don't know. There's a Cronenberg. Yes, you got to love a bit of Cronenberg. But if the last one I bought of his, I've not watched it yet, and I don't think it's one of his classic gory ones. The last one I'll try to get my collection of his going. I bought this. I've not actually seen it yet, and I don't think it's like his classic. I don't think it's like his classic ones. But one of the things I love about Cronenberg is at least once in his films he'll have some horrendously graphic, violent, gory bit. Someone's nose smashed into their face, or some. There's always one really horrific bit. Yeah, Naked Lunch. Funny thing is, tactical. What do you call it? Liam has been watching a load of David Cronenberg stuff recently. I recommended him. What do you call it? Crash. Because that's quite an odd one. That's Crash. People sexually attracted to like car crashes, don't they? What have I got of Cronenberg on DVD? Videodrome. Videodrome, Scanners. I don't know where my Scanners is. I've not got them in order. But I've seen most. Oh, I also got Rabid, Shivers. The Steam King stories he done. What Cronenberg's one? Dead Zone won it. James, I still love ultra-violent era of Paul Verhoeven. Yeah, RoboCop and Total Recall. Yeah, if you want to have a chat about films, you can tell I'm interested in that. I'll chat about anything, but I normally something to pique my interest, and often films. Yeah, RoboCop uncut. Fucking hell, amazing. And Total Recall's good as well. Yeah, Crash. You've seen that Metallic. Crash is insane. It's bizarre. It's not insane, but it's just weird. Yeah. Sexually attracted to car crashes. Yeah, I've not watched that. I don't know if it's going to have any. I don't think it's like his normal stuff, but I bought it purely because of it's got some decent actors in. I do like all three of them actually, and it's Cronenberg, so I thought I'd give it a go. But I don't think it's like his. I don't think it's going to have some really gory bit. Maybe it does. 15. Archetype, how you doing, mate? And he said, take it. I haven't seen Turbo Kid, actually. I've never heard of that. Dead Ringers is good. Yeah, this is a couple of films I bought recently. I've watched all these years ago, but this is some of the ones I got recently. Hardcore Henry. That's probably one of my favourite films now. That's it. Also said a drummer who hears can play a deaf drummer because it's called acting. Lol. You shouldn't cast a murderer to play. Well, that's the thing. I wasn't saying I agree with it, but they was moaning about it. You know what I mean? Because as you say, that is called acting, isn't it? Oh, sorry, I've put these back and shown them. Death Proof, Planet Terror. But yeah, I don't agree with it. I'm just saying what I saw. But yeah. I haven't watched Alita yet, Zed, no. That's the one film where getting the gear stick up your ass is a plus. Oh, what? I'm Crash, as I like to say. No, I haven't watched either of them yet. The original sort of pilot for the TV series, the old manga thing, the anime, or the new one. But no, Wolf said that is a good point, though. It is called acting, exactly. But yeah, there was a lot of moaning about that. But then I say that I wonder if a lot of the moaning is the papers making out that people are offended by it or bothered by it. Because I do often think that. I think it's the newspaper. Because this is something I read recently. I actually couldn't quite believe what I read. So I can't remember what it was. But I've read this big long article about something. And then at the bottom, there was a little bit of writing that said something along the lines of, this story cannot be confirmed and everything that's been mentioned could be wrong. So, in other words, the whole fucking story was made up. Oh, Metallica, I've got some Tartan Extreme. So up there, in my Tartan Extreme, I've got Battle Royale 1 and 2. I think it's Tartan Extreme. Yeah, Tartan Asia Extreme. Up there, yeah. Oh, I've got loads of them, Tartan Asia Extreme. Yeah, I've got Lady Vengeance, Premonition, Infect, or Infected, or Infection. I can't read it from here. The Eye, Old Boy, Battle Royale 1 and 2. Yeah, I've got quite a few. I like the old Tartan Asia Extreme stuff. Is Tartan Extreme the same as Tartan Asia Extreme? Crypt said, Wolf said, I had an idea for a slide-out crossbow bayonet. Peter said, people get offended by things they've never seen. Persia said, I think that's Wolf Creek. What? No, it was an actual newspaper article I read, if that's what you mean. Yeah, I remember when James said they blamed James Bulger murder on child's play. I remember when they did that. And then they got that film fucking banned, essentially, didn't they? And that's just the newspapers lying. Tyler said, Battle Royale 2, oh dear. I love Old Boy. My first TV film. Nice. Yeah, I'm quite a fan of. I haven't bought any for years. But all of my sort of Asian films are, I'll tell you what I've got up there. I've got Lady Vengeance, Premonition, Infection, Hard Boiled, The Eye, Old Boy, Bangkok Haunted, Versus, Bullet in the Head, Story of Ricky or Ricky O, Battle Royale 1 and 2, Pulse, Shogun Assassin, Itchy the Killer, all the Bruce Lee films, Yorotsuka Doji 1 and 2. I got some anime sort of mangas up there. Yeah, they're up there. Right, I'm going to have to go off in about 2 minutes. If you're watching anyone who suspects they've been banned and you're not a troll, because I did see 2 new regulars get banned tonight, but I couldn't be asked to unblock them at the time. Email me and I'll bring you back. Audition I've seen but don't own. Yeah, I liked Audition. But it's an Old Boy is great. Apparently, it's a terrible remake with Josh Brolin. I don't know why they remake them things. If you're gonna do anything, why not just do a fucking I know this is sacrilegious to some people. Why not do a fucking just dub it? Just bring the film back out and dub it if people don't want to read subtitles. Do you know what I mean? But don't remake it terribly. It's pointless remaking films that don't need remaking. But there are remakes can be another one you've gone about for fucking ages. There are some, very rarely, there are good remakes. There are some good remakes, but there is a hell of a lot of remakes that are completely pointless that should never have been done. Thank you, Sim. I'll be back on tomorrow. Yeah, Wicker Man, absolutely terrible. Most of the no, not most. All of the John Carpenter remakes, all of the things they've remade of John Carpenter's total shite. Titanic said, if they can't be asked to read subtitles, they don't deserve the film. Or is that potential? No, I agree. I can agree with you there. Yeah, fucking hell. You know. Yeah. No, I agree. I can. Yeah. You know what I mean? Keep making Les Miserables. Thanks, mate. Right, I'm literally dying for a fucking piss right now, and I've got some stuff to do. Sadly, I know vaguely about the tripod. I remember watching it as a kid. Yeah. Sadly, I can't go to bed. I've got to do at least half an hour's worth of stuff before I go to bed. Then I'm going to end up watching something. Thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. Thank you for the support tonight as well. All the people who supported, that genuinely helps out a lot. Yeah, thank you very much for that. So I'll be on again tomorrow, 9:30 till maybe 12 tomorrow. I'm not getting drunk this weekend. Right. Thank you for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. I'll put my little ad on before I go, and then I'll come back and say goodnight. So don't leave yet. Right. The link for that is at the top of the description. Or if you just scroll through the things, you'll see it come up. I never ran for a piss, Tactical. Still holding it in. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate it. See you all tomorrow if you're on. Good night. I remember how to stop the stream. Good night.